My father had a funky green colored sweater, which was his favorite, but I hated it because of the color and also because it started smelling of elaichis, cardamom, later on, which Papa used to fondly chew on, and I detested that smell. This was 1992. While cleaning my cupboard on a weekend recently, I happened to open my old trunk that had a few of my favorite pieces of clothes. The same funky green colored sweater was sneaking beneath a gorgeous organza sari that belonged to my mother, waiting to be touched again. I pulled it out with an intention to wear it in case it fits. It did, emotionally. The void that my father left after he succumbed to kidney failure, has been dangling in the air ever since. Even though I have pushed that void at the back of my mind, it is left like an unattended precious belonging. It keeps coming back to your mind, again, and again. I had just started exploring the new college life and my father was the wind beneath my wings. He was a diabetic patient and was scared of hospitals and doctors as much as a 10-year-old would be. A small cut on his foot, being ignorant to worst results, and too many dominating statements to my mother for insisting him to go for regular checkups. After a year it all added up to just one thing: life support at the intensive care unit, ICU. When I finished my finals and returned home, I had to open the doors of a hospital room instead of the new house we had bought just 6 months back. Papa lay there dressed in that boring white patient dress. Papa always loved bright colors, it made him feel lively. His skin had darkened. Papa was proud that he was the fairest in his family and used to joke that people can easily mistake him for being a French. His weak legs had a few pipes running over them. Papa was a traveler, he wanted to see every beautiful place in his lifetime. Something shattered inside me. I could only spend a few minutes with him telling enthusiastic stories about my projects when he lost consciousness and was immediately rushed to an ICU. I stood numb as the nurses went in and out of the ICU without letting me or my mother in. No, I had not lost him yet. It had to be harder. 4 days. Numerous bottles of blood. Never-ending tests and the constant pain inflicted on him by those injections. 3 days at the hospital. I had already grown 10 years mature in mind and decision making. I had to. My mother was too weak to understand that she was losing the love of her life. I was allowed inside the ICU only to feed him food,